Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
Good evening, Steelers Nation. Man, guys, we survived Black and Blue Week. I think we only have one injury. Not too bad, but before we get into the game, let me go ahead and introduce my esteemed colleagues. To the left of me, over in the land of brotherly love, the man, the boner, the stoner, the hitchhiker, hijacking the show. How are you today, my friend?
I'm good. How about you, man?
I'm doing fantastic. Look at you, man. Like, all bright. Did you get a shave and a haircut, man?
No.
No?
I need to.
I didn't think he did.
But there's something different about him, Kitch. Have you noticed there's just a little something?
I don't know. The lights.
I can't see up his nose.
Exactly. He's facing forward. He's a forward-facing hijacker.
Oh, he's a real boy.
Somebody messed with my brother messed with my camera.
Well, tell him we said thank you.
Oh, come on, man. It's actually working for once.
Hey, man, it looks good. It looks good.
Yeah,
And then,
it looks good.
Of course.
On. People can see my face now. It's
out there in the land of Indiana, and that's not Indiana, but Indiana, Pennsylvania. Kitch, how are you, my friend?
Great. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going all right, man. I think, hey, it's Monday. There's no blues. Just the feel good of a victory. Our first
Victory
win
Monday.
in the kitchen. Victory Monday. I'm beginning to like this, man. I'm beginning to like this. Even though I got to admit, guys, I think that we weren't too sure what to expect. Was this going to be a shootout, going against number one offense, and then, of course, against our defense? And would we be able to sustain the likes of Lamar Jackson and the points? And at the end of the day, it was the same old Steelers-Ravens game decided by less than 3 fucking points with the final score of yours truly, the Steelers, 18, and, of course, the Ravens at 16.
You mean the Boswell's 18, right?
Well, hey, this is Boz's third time or fifth time in his career he's done
Third
this?
in his career, 2 this year, 1 in the playoffs.
And
wins a game at exactly 18, kicking 6 field goals.
Oh, I know. But I tell you what, the thing that gets me the most though is the 2 missed field goals by Mother. Did anybody get as excited as I did? I mean, I felt so
Dude,
great.
I was pumped.
You were on what?
Dude, the first one, I'm just like, holy shit, I think I just saw a unicorn. Because Tucker doesn't really miss, except for this year. He's having that year. But then he missed the second one, and it's like, I think we're witnessing his collapse in the same game that Boz takes his throne.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know we were talking in the garage, man, that if Boz does not get the nod to the Pro Bowl this year and Tucker goes again, I'm done with the Pro Bowl. I think that's absolutely horse shit. But the Pro Bowl.
It's been a popularity contest basically for the last 20 years.
Well, it's gotten worse since we've changed the way that we've played the game, of course. But as far as the guy who deserves it this year, it's definitely Boz. There's no doubt about it that he does.
All-pro team kicker.
But the thing that gets me is Tucker last year missed 5 field goals. This year, he's missed 6. He is definitely heading in the wrong direction. Now, a few weeks ago, I seen that he had made things, well, it's a mechanics issue, and we just need to concentrate on the techniques. And me and my special teams coach are really, really hard at it, and we're going to get it rectified. I'm glad you didn't get it rectified last Sunday. Thanks, Tucker.
Well, I guess that's just the long way around as a kicker to say, I'm getting old.
Yeah, but he's not that old.
Hey, I don't know. I mean, the Ravens had to lean on him a long time. There's a lot of mileage on that leg.
There's a lot of mileage on that leg. That leg has seen some miles.
That leg's seen some things, man.
It's seen some things. It's seen some things. So what do you think there, hijacker?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm just happy he's missing field goals finally. I didn't think that ever happened.
I love that attitude. I have no idea what's going on. I'm just happy.
Yeah, I just love it, man. I don't know how. I've been praying for this, but it finally happened.
My prayers have been answered. And let's face it. I mean, he is 34. He's had 13 years in the league. I mean, but is it really age? I mean, Gary Anderson kicked till he was 40.
Well, yeah, Vinatieri kicked till he was 44.
Right.
But they all became less accurate with age.
Less accurate with age. So could we see the decline of Tucker and on his way out of the door? Or do you think the Ravens hold on to him forever and a day?
Well, I think they still hold on to him just because of that range ability and how most years he doesn't miss that much. Like, I'm sure he'll actually bounce back for a bit. Most of the older kickers do. I think yeah.
And let's face it too, guys. If he'd have made that, we're looking at a 24 to 18 game here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, 22 to 18 game here. The other direction.
Which would have been Lamar's only second win against Pittsburgh.
Right. But is it me, or do you guys really see that we are in his head, in Lamar's head?
Yes. And it was like, it's only going to get worse from here. He has to see us again at the end of the season, possibly for the division.
How much? I'm almost willing to make a major bet right here, right now, that says he will not be on the field when we play in the second game.
That actually doesn't surprise me, considering that's been the trend every year he's been in the league.
Yeah, I'm almost thinking he sits out the next game.
He might go out with, what are all the players calling it when they don't want to play and they're healthy? Hamstring.
Right. And I'm feeling so confident, man. I'm ready to put some big money down on here. Anybody want to take me up on $1?
I mean, I'll take you up. Well, no. Actually, I agree with you, so that would be dumb.
What about you, hijacker?
He's muted.
Yeah. I do that problem. Well, just kidding.
You're not gonna do that either?
No, man.
I mean, I would love to see Lamar play us in December.
Man, because I tell you what, I cannot believe we held him to, first of all, there was only 9 passing first downs. However, guess what? We only had 9 passing first downs.
Yeah.
That was pretty even. When you look at this entire thing, it was pretty even all the way through. And was anybody else a little concerned that our quarterback did not look that great?
He did not. But the interception wasn't really his fault. I'll give him that. That was Mount Washington just not putting in the effort. He could have got that.
Well, when you're 6'8", you'd figure all you had to do is put a hand up. I'm wondering if he didn't even see the ball coming until it was too late.
That might have been it. I think Russ might have been hurried on the play.
Or how about the fact that maybe we don't throw it to him enough, so he's not really looking for the ball like he should be.
I don't know about that. He's probably got just about as much action as Muth in the last few weeks.
Well, are you sure about that? I mean, he was targeted 4 times for 2 catches. Muth was targeted for 2 times, so 2 catches.
Okay, so we've been using him more than Muth.
Well, in this game, we definitely used him.
Yeah,
more
but
than
if
we
you look
did
back
Muth.
at the stats from the last few weeks, he always, like every single game, would have that flat route that would go for like 15 yards.
But that seemed to be the only time we were throwing to him.
Sometimes they would do it multiple times a game, so you'd have like 2 catches for 30 yards.
But so again, then I think you're only solidifying that when you're out there running a route 80% of the time, you're not getting the ball.
Yeah, but as a pro, you're supposed to look back for it, like, and anticipate it, even if you're not the first read.
Yeah, but I'm thinking in his case, he doesn't feel he's even a read at this point unless the play is called out for him.
Well, that one was called out for him.
No. Russ was on the scramble and he was looking for somebody to throw to and figured at the last minute, I'm going to put up this moon ball Hail Mary to my tallest guy. Well, it wasn't that far. It was a whole whopping 15 yards. But my point is it looked like a throw of desperation.
Oh, it was. But I'm still putting some of the blame on Darnell here.
Yeah, Washington should have jumped for that ball, no doubt.
Yeah, I think he could have at least outreached for it or made an attempt for it, but he didn't even do that. But when it comes to the battle of the quarterbacks, guys, I mean, you had 207 yards passing by Lamar Jackson, 46 yards rushing. And then you turn around and you had 205 yards by Russell Wilson and a whopping 1 yard rushing. And that was a pretty hard run. I wanted you to know I was clocking it. I'm still thinking he's a shade faster than Big Ben.
Well, Ben wasn't really that fast at that age.
Yeah,
it was a thing of beauty, though, trying to watch that big guy move. It was hilarious.
It was.
He just looked so uncoordinated, but he is somehow still good at it.
Yes. Well, okay. So did anybody get the feeling that we had so many gifts provided to us and we almost did zilch, nothing with him?
No, that was concerning. I didn't this was not supposed to be that good of a defense.
And it looked like they had our receivers locked down tight.
Yeah.
So whatever they did, they fixed that problem real quick. But when you look at it, we had 3 turnovers. There's 2 fumbles, right? The first one, Herbig, second play of the game, guys. Look, you couldn't have asked for anything better, and we walked away with 3. It's like, really?
Yeah,
and
after
go ahead.
After how our defense played and only seeing us have only a handful of field goals is 9-7 at half just because Lamar threw a bad pick.
Yeah. I mean, that was pretty ugly, guys. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this might be another one of them ugly games. And it really turned out to, because my personal MVP of the game, Mr. Mr. Payton Wilson, my Lord, was that a beautiful interception.
Yeah, it was almost exactly like the one Devin Bush had in his rookie year against Lamar as well, where he ripped it out of the receiver's hand mid-dive. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very, very similar and very, very close to it. But I almost think, though, when you look at Devin Bush at that time and stage compared to Payton Wilson at this stage, Payton is a much more complete linebacker. And I can't help but every time I watch this kid, he really reminds me of Jack Lambert, man. Or not Lambert, Jack Ham. He just seems to. He's got that lengthy feel. Maybe it's the beard that's fucking with me, you know. And in Jack's younger days, he had that great big beard, you know, tall, lengthy, kind of rangy kind of guy. But he reminds me of Ham. You
Yeah,
guys are
that
too
was one
young.
impressive play when he picked it off. He really ripped it out of the guy's hands.
How did he rip it out? He caught it.
Yeah, ripped it out.
The receiver kind of caught it.
Had the arm up.
Well, I thought they both had their hands on it when he caught it. Sort of like that. Then he
His
ripped it
hand up. Ball came in. Receiver had it on the other side. His hands in between.
Mhm.
And then he come down, grabbed it, hitchhiker.
Well, I was probably watching something else when it happened.
What could you
He is
have been watching?
He's very easily distracted.
What could you have been watching besides Steelers game, hitchhiker?
I was probably getting my third snack of the game.
Your third snack of the game? I mean, for a minute there, I thought
There's
maybe
Munchies, man.
Munchies. By chance, you weren't watching SpongeBob SquarePants, were you?
I cannot promise.
You cannot promise.
I cannot deny or confirm this at this time.
All right. So, me personally, I think that was the pivot game or the pivot point of the game. And without that interception, I don't think we win that game, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably blow that game considering they came down on that final drive and it looked like we couldn't stop them at all.
Well, we did stop the 2 points, and that's really all that matters.
Yep.
But there was a part of me thinking, oh, man, please tell me that Juju's not going to come out in the overtime and lose this game for us.
Oh, wait, that's not a problem anymore.
Right, he's not here.
Hey, that's the only time Lamar's managed to beat us, whenever Mason was in for Ben, got knocked out, and then the Duck Man came in.
Well, and here's one more thing that I thought was very impressive. We held King Henry to 65 yards.
Yeah. Fun fact, Derrick Henry's never beat us.
I know. This is now 0-4 against us.
Yeah, I think we're not only in Lamar's head, but I think at this point we're in Derrick Henry's head.
We might own both of them, which is even more better for me.
And I think the moment that solidified it for Henry is whenever TJ blew him up in the backfield. He's not used to that.
And how about, you know, my favorite play was where Deontay Johnson looked like he was potentially could have scored a touchdown.
And he dropped
it. He dropped it, but let's face it, Lamar did not put that ball in a very promising place. I mean,
it was still an easy catch.
I don't know about an easy catch. It looked like he was trying to stay in bounds and not go out of bounds backwards to try to catch that ball. But to watch it fall off his fingertips, I did get a little chuckle and a smile.
I loved it even more whenever the other two receivers started doing it.
Well, and it seemed like the only one who was at least having a halfway decent day was Isaiah Likely.
I kind of figured he was gonna.
I mean, he led all receptions with 75 yards, 5 targets for 4 catches. I mean, even Andrews, who you thought was back on the bus again, did absolutely nothing. He had those 2 catches, that long one there for 14 yards, and then that was it. It was shutdown time. And then even Zay Flowers, oh my God, he's got to be kicking himself in the ass. I mean, how much more wide open could you have been and dropped that ball?
It doesn't help that the bad officiating this year, on top of it, to give them some benefit of the doubt, has not helped them, considering that, like, they're the most penalized team in the league, and literally every game for every team this season, the refs have sucked.
Yeah, and let's face it, it was definitely no different for us this game either, too. It was almost as if they made that one bad call and then gave it to the Ravens, only to turn around and call a holding penalty next to pull it back from them. There in the fourth quarter. That was pretty blatant.
Yeah, that one was obvious.
I mean, but then again, this is the NFL, and as everybody says, they got such a hard job. Hard job. Well, if they got a hard job, maybe we got to put a few more of them out there.
Yeah, but another question is, how have they only gotten worse?
That is a very good question. That is a very good question. But hey, we're not here to beat up on these guys. We're here to beat up on them dirty birds. And then I guess at the end of the day, guys, we're lucky we come away with a win. I'm not going to disregard it whatsoever. It was a gift. We're definitely in Lamar's head, definitely looking like we're in Derrick Henry's head. We definitely need to figure out how to move that ball. And if it wasn't for Justin Fields coming on late in the game, would we have gotten that first down?
Probably not.
I don't think we would have.
Was anybody surprised that we pulled that out? Because we were talking about it in the third quarter. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, bring in Justin." I'm like, "Oh, here we go again."
Yeah, we've been talking about this for weeks. I didn't expect it.
I actually thought that they would hold on to it a little bit longer. Maybe try to get through the first round of AFC North games before they pulled it out. Not to have too much on film. But
it didn't run it a lot. Probably more plays out of that package we haven't run.
Well, you're probably right on that. And then I wouldn't mind seeing a few more passing plays just to keep everybody honest, to say that he's not just going to come in here and run, that he could potentially come in and pass.
Yeah, he's not going to come in and just be a wildcat quarterback. He can sling it down the field to Pickens. And after running it with him a few times, they're all expecting it, then launch it over the top. I wouldn't say use it this week against the Browns. I don't think we need to. But probably Cincy, because Cincy's defense is almost historically bad, but Joe Burrow has been statistically great. That's the team I would pull that out against.
And we might just need to, especially if they look at putting up 30, we're probably going to have to need to put up 30. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll probably need to score a lot of points against the Bengals.
I think Freight Train was trying to get in.
Oh, he was?
Yeah. Yeah, look at the comments, dude.
Oh, Mr. Brinkley. He says we're too mainstream. He's right. He's right. Oh, look at this. Now Patrick Queen and the middle linebackers are the difference maker this year. Tell us more, Mike. Let's listen, guys.
Yeah, I mean, we could just let him in.
Nah, man, we gotta keep him out. I'm kidding.
Is he out there?
Well,
he's in a private chat even saying, "Let me in." What's going on here, producers?
I don't know.
Sorry for the technical difficulties, gentlemen.
Nolan.
This is what happens when you get a new program. Nobody knows how it works. Where's JT at when you need him?
Well, he's got the night off.
He does. All right. Hey, one last thing, guys. What do you guys think about Broderick Jones? Was there not a point there where I thought he was going to get ejected from the game?
I was actually kind of hoping for it.
Why?
Because he would have at least eliminated one of their players without getting flagged again for it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Who is this?
It's your old pal.
Who?
Pal? This isn't Batman and Robin, sir. There's no pow, bang, punch on this show.
I thought you guys got too big. You were just ignoring my comments. Didn't want me to come in anymore. I'm not.
Wait a second. Do you have a camera, or are you blacked out for a reason?
I don't know why. It's doing something funky.
Doing something funky?
Yeah, I don't know. But it's been so long, and I haven't been able to be on this show. I feel like I owe pretty much. Well, I definitely owe TA an apology.
Uh-oh.
And I owe the Steelers organization apology for not believing in what they set up this year. This has just been incredible. And to bounce off my comment, the turning point of this season is the middle linebacker play. It's the one thing that we had been missing last year and years prior is the play of the middle linebackers, and it's been a huge difference maker.
Well, Freight Train, you go back to the years of Shazier and where we really thought we were seeing that middle linebacker play come to life. And then he get hurt. And then you're right. We had Bush and then he got hurt. There's just been that missing. But last year was the first year with Holcomb and Roberts that everybody thought, man, not too bad. Yeah. Definitely shored up the defense a lot. But you're right. This year with Queen and Wilson on top of Roberts, yeah, can you imagine what's going to happen when Holcomb comes back?
And the defensive line has been holding up. That was my main question mark coming into the season. I thought that was going to be our bugaboo, and boy, I was severely wrong. The only thing that I take from last game, and I don't know what you guys have talked about so far. I just kind of got in for the night, but I want to know where Mike Williams was yesterday, because I sure as hell would have liked to seen him in the red zone used a lot more yesterday. It seemed like he played a lot in the first quarter and then just kind of disappeared the rest of the game.
Yeah, I don't think we're ready to see a complete package from Mike yet. I think he's still learning the plays. I think the only reason why we saw him last week is because the time was right for him to come in. And you lost Austin as well at that point in time. So I think that worked out perfectly. This game here, I think they weren't ready to showcase him yet. And it looked like they were going more towards Washington and getting him more highly involved. And I just don't think he was ready for it yet. I think they said they were going to call his numbers, and he just didn't believe them.
Well, I mean, I didn't see why they couldn't just run him out there. I mean, Van Jefferson's just out there wasting space. He's not contributing anything on this offense. I don't know why he's getting the reps over Mike Williams, who has a higher upside than Van Jefferson.
Yeah, but wait a minute now. He's only been on our team for 2 weeks.
Van Jefferson's been here since day one, and he's done literally nothing.
Now, he isn't that bad. Now, come on. He's not that bad.
6 catches for 60 yards.
Is that your final answer? 6 catches?
That's all I can remember. I can recall seeing.
All right. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to double that and add 2. And he's been fortunate enough in almost, 9 games now to get 139 yards with 1 TV. All right. Wow. And just so you know, okay, Freight Train, hold on, because I don't want you to ditch on my boy Van right now. All right. He is averaging right now a whole whopping 9.9 yards catch, too. All right. So
one catch a game goes for 9 yards.
And it's usually been clutch, except for this last weekend when he dropped it.
Shoot, Mike Williams got that almost all in one play.
Yeah.
So you see how well we're using our quarterback, our receivers, right?
That's another good question
one pass.
Zach here in the comments. Where's Roman Wilson at?
He's on the IR.
He's always hurt.
Yeah, he went back on the IR on hamstring.
Oh, I didn't realize he went back. Well, hey, that answers it.
Yep. Went back on. That's why we see Snoronik. Dun 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 dun. Snoronik. I'm kind of liking that guy, man. I want to hear that chant out in Acrisure Stadium. Dun 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 dun. You know, I can just see it.
Snoronik.
It's just cringy enough to actually happen.
I'm kind of liking it, man. I mean, I tell you what, as a gunner, the guy's definitely got some speed. There's no doubt about it. And here's the other thing, going back to Van here, Freight Train, real quick. Cordell Patterson. Okay, you can almost say, why is he out there on the field right now?
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that one either.
I mean, he granted he got hurt, he came back, but he had one carry for 0 yards, and he had one reception for how many yards? 0.
0. Yeah.
Man, he touched the ball twice for 0 yards. Smoking. Look, I still think that we're also trying to figure out, we are in a third game now with Russell Wilson. He's still trying to figure out who his core group is. I mean, he already knows George is there. And guys, if George could have made that over the chicken wing catch, oh my God, that would have been fucking a thing of beauty. But he didn't make that. But I still think he's just trying to figure out who his guys are. And I think you're going to see that more and more, especially now with Mike, because it's going to open up the door and take the double teams off of George.
I'd really like to see George in the offseason maybe go take some like ballerina classes or something.
His footwork is awful.
So he can learn how to toe tap on the sidelines without, 1 foot out of bounds.
Wait a minute. Out of all the spectacular catches he made, the one where he's trying to get out of bounds, you're going to go ahead and recommend him for ballet? Did you not see the
I
way
agree
he was
with
running
Freight
like a doe?
Yeah, no. I
if you watch George Pickens like full play or go back and watch highlights, his footwork is pretty awful. His routes are not actually that good. And he cannot keep his feet in bounds on the sideline for the life of him. But he's getting this off of pure physicality. If he were to tighten up those route running fundamentals and just like knowing where you're at on the field, he could be easily a top 3 receiver in the league.
So what I'm hearing from both of you is that Mrs. Freight Train needs to take a trip to Pittsburgh to go ahead and enlighten George in the fine art of ballet.
I think she would be more than willing to take up that offer. Or I was just going to suggest there's a former player of ours who they used to call Tony Toe Tap that could probably use a job right now and teach George how to, toe tap the sidelines. Who was one of the best in the NFL when he played at that exact thing.
Oh, Tony Toe Tap, huh?
Tony Toe Tap. Yeah. If he's not flashing his, what in a swimming pool, I mean, you could probably help him out.
Do we really want to bring that back?
Hell yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, Freight Train. Final thought of the game.
Final thought is I think that everybody needs to seriously consider this team as a legit Super Bowl contender.
We don't even have to score touchdowns.
Just the sheer ability of this defense to keep this team in these ball games and be the difference maker. And this offense is figuring out as it goes. I know we didn't finish the drives this week against Baltimore, but that's also a really good playoff team too. So I think it's very, very encouraging moving forward, and I'm looking for the Steelers to have this division wrapped up by Christmas.
All right. Hijacker?
Yeah, I think we're on a roll. We need to keep the momentum going, especially against the Browns this week, who have been sucking. We play them again soon, too, and the Bengals have been struggling. So if we can keep the roll going, have this division locked up sooner rather than later, that'll be easy because we do have to play the Chiefs and other really good teams later this season.
Which, TA, I forgot to throw this out there, too. I think the other difference maker this year, too, is the coaching staff's ability to make adjustments during the game. The amount of second half adjustments that have turned out for the better is probably the best coaching that I've seen the Steelers have in probably the last 5 seasons. Is their ability to really adjust in game, have great game plans going into these weeks. I mean, these last 2 games could have been very, very brutal games. And you made the MVP favorite look silly. Jaden Daniels didn't look like how he did the weeks prior. But the coaching staff this season has done a phenomenal job.
Well, and I'll give you that one too, because I've had to apologize as well to Terrell Austin. It might have took him a while to learn this defense, but he's really got all the pieces together now, and he's utilizing them. And I don't know if it's because of the addition of our middle linebackers, and go ahead and throw in Deontay Jackson, who has been huge, or Deshaun Elliott, who has even been tough. I mean, all the pieces are right there, including even JPJ getting his just growing and maturing. That was a huge stop for the 2-point conversion at the end of that game. And as he said it, hey, look, we've been watching that little, hop and pop play, and they went ahead and he just called it out. Kitch, last one for you.
I mean, this was an ugly game. I kind of probably should have anticipated that, looking back on the past few meetings with them. I do think there's a shot we can wrap this division up early for once.
Well, I got one last take. And first of all, Bubs, it's good to hear from you, buddy. Ain't seen you in a while. Third in the NFL pickings with over 700 yards and 48 receptions. The boy is definitely on pace for his 1,000 yards, and I hope he gets it. I also hope he gets a Pro Bowl nod as well. That voting should be coming out here pretty soon, and I think we all need to, as Steelers fans, make sure we're on that hot and heavy and get as many votes in as possible. I have a little bit different take. I don't give two shits if we win the division or not. You could go ahead and give it to the clowns right now for all I care. The only thing I want to see is when we get to the playoffs, we're hitting it at the right time, healthy, ready to rock and roll, and really scare some individuals. And football gods willing, we get another crack at that 7th Super Bowl ring. That's where I'm at on this right now.
I agree.
Because this team has something special right now, and I can't put my finger on it. It's not an identity. There's no egos. There's no me. It's so refreshing to watch this team play as a damn team.
Yeah, I agree with you, TA. But the most encouraging part about all this is they have a really good shot at getting a home playoff game rather than going on the road.
Hey, look, you really want to get technical? Right now, the way I see it, Buffalo's the only thing standing in our way right now, because Kansas City may have been undefeated up until this week at Buffalo, but let's be real. They almost got beat Denver. They almost got beat before. It just looks like you want to talk about refs giving them something? That is Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. That is just
they've been giving them games.
Yeah, that has got to stop. I mean, I think everybody sees this in the whole thing with the Swifties. Look, I think we're all done with this now, but I really think right now the Steelers are what we really have to worry about is the Bills, who Tomlin has a difficulty with beating.
Yeah, we were right there with them, though, last year for half.
I don't want to be right there with them.
But we didn't have the type of talent that we do this year last year. I mean, we had Mason Rudolph at quarterback, for Pete's sakes.
Nope, you're right. And we were right there with him with what we have. So I just want to see this team continue to grow, continue to get stronger, continue to get better, and by all means, just keep putting a lick into their opponents, because boys, we're seeing it. We're seeing it.
Oh, they're right. They're right on the fringe of being able to score 30-plus points a game and only giving up half that.
Well, I mean, we've already done it a couple times now.
Yeah. I mean, we're one overthrow to Washington there, and this game wouldn't have even been close.
Yep.
No, not even. Not even. All right, gentlemen. As usual, it has been great seeing you guys and talking with everybody. Just real quick on the game predictions. see how close everybody was?
I don't think
Not.
anybody was even remotely close.
No, we got Kitch at 31-24. Deontay Johnson drops the tying pass.
Hey, you're sort of right.
Yeah,
I was really, really like hoping that drop would come at the end of the game, but I was okay with watching it happen early.
Right. Then we had JT 28-24 Steelers Boz with the game winner.
Well, he was right there.
Yeah.
Sure, right there.
With the
Yeah, a
game
couple
winners,
game
all
winners.
6 of them.
Right. Randy Fuller chimed in at 24-21 Steelers. Russell can't let Kenny Pickett beat the Ravens, and he can't. That's what we said.
Yeah.
And then the hijacker at 21-14.
Who is the closest?
Russ with 3 TDs.
And that was Barb from
Yeah, that was off.
Yeah, it was off. And
It seems like at least each of us were right about something.
well, you know what I find that was interesting? We had all been, even DJ and I were looking at almost that 30 burger. And it was like, I think we just got so used to watching this team scoring points, we forgot who we were playing, which was the Ravens.
Yeah, I had the Steelers 31-24.
Right. And I was even the dummy who said, when was the last time that we scored 30? Both of us in a game?
2017.
2017. Long
And
time
threw
ago.
for 500 yards.
Long time ago. All right, gentlemen. Thursday, Kitch, are you off or Hijack are you off on Thursday?
Well, it's Wednesday this week.
We're
We
actually
played
going
Browns
Wednesday,
Thursday.
surprisingly.
Oh, Wednesday. So it's Kitch. So then, guys, I'm going to be from the road, so you guys are going to get to hear me in the car.
Oh, no. I'm kidding.
Oh, yeah. Because I'll be on my way to Colorado. So, all right, we'll see you Wednesday night then.
Yeah, he's got to get the hijacker supply.
Got to get the hijacker supply. Gentlemen, Steelers Nation, thank you boys very much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. We'll see you on Wednesday. We're out.
Adios.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.